Jim Scott, who was the dean of our College of Music for almost 15 years, during the last year, he called me into his office and he said, you know, the school has its 125th anniversary coming up. I'd like to commission you to write an original piece to celebrate the 125th anniversary. And then we talked about some parameters, some general parameters. The first thing was that the piece had to be between 10 and 15 minutes long. The second thing was that it was going to be premiered during the Wingspan Week, which is this week. So the other parameter was tapping into both sides of the school. Orchestral musicians and jazz musicians meeting together, playing the same piece on the same stage. It's what, I mean, I think there are a handful of schools that could maybe do that and are doing it, but we're one of those schools. We can do it and we should, because we can, and because it's artistically important, especially for 21st century musicians. And then the final thing that Jim Scott and I discussed was the aspect of giving this piece greater life, a life beyond UNT. He suggested that the piece could work for future orchestras, professional orchestras, not necessarily future UNT orchestras, although we could do that as well. And so Suite for an Anniversary just felt, it sounds nice, and I think it says more or less what the piece is about, and hopefully future orchestras might consider it once they hear the piece and say, hey, you know what, we have an anniversary coming up. Whoever uses it, it will still reflect on our school. People will say, this is the piece that was created at UNT for UNT. And so our name will live on, hopefully through other organizations.